Hey friends, I'm Jeremy Watson. I'm a product manager here at GitLab. Really excited to talk to you a little bit about what's in store for 12.9, releasing March 22nd for the access group in the managed stage of the DevOps lifecycle. The access group works on access control, authentication and authorization, and a host of other improvements. And I'm excited to talk to you a little bit about some of those today. 12.9 is exciting because we've got a number of different improvements in store, ranging from authentication improvements to SAML, smart card. But I'm going to talk just about three key kind of improvements that we're working on today, and I'll go ahead and share my screen. I think the first one is going to be the result of an engineering investigation that is still ongoing. So this may land in 12.9 or 12.10, depending on our investigation. However, our goal is to deliver an MVC of this in 12.9, where we're able to optionally disable group membership inheritance. And here, the problem that we really want to solve is that groups within GitLab are really powerful small primitives where subgroups will always inherit the membership of their parent group. This is great because instead of having to micromanage memberships kind of at every single group level, you can simply add a number of subgroups to a top level group and trust that everyone in the top level group is going to get access to everything below. However, sometimes that's not always desired. At times, especially on GitLab.com, some organizations may want to have subgroups that are actually a subset of the membership of the top level group. And up until now, because group membership inheritance is something you can't work around, that's been something that we've been unable to offer. We're going to change that here by adding an option to the group settings page to make group membership inheritance selectively optional. Really excited about this. I think it's going to make groups even more powerful than they already are, especially for those users using GitLab.com. This is a core feature that we're also going to plan to add for all plans using GitLab. The other thing I'm excited about is iterating on scoping for personal access tokens. So I think that one challenge with personal access tokens, which is obviously a great way to authenticate scripting and automation to work through a user. One challenge is that most automation needs to be granted the API level access, which is read-write across the full scope of API endpoints within GitLab. Well, we need to make that more granular. And I think we're going to start in 12.9 by introducing a read-only API scope for endpoints that you can read, but you can't write to. So I'm very excited to introduce this into GitLab core and continue to iterate on scoping and become increasingly granular over time. Eventually, I'd love to see the ability to be able to endpoint by endpoint specify exactly what a personal access token can do, both for the things that it can do, as well as the projects and groups that it has access to. But for now, in 12.9, we're going to start with a small iteration by introducing a read-only API scope. The other thing I'm excited about is, for a while, several releases ago, we introduced the ability to enforce SSO on top-level groups using SAML SSO. One thing that we want to introduce is the ability to check SSO status and be able to enforce SSO when you are not only accessing GitLab through the UI, but also when you're doing SSH and API activity on the command line. So we're going to make sure that happens so we can introduce a solid and secure way for enterprises, especially those on GitLab.com, to interact with the command line and trust that all activity is being funneled through your single sign-on identity provider. So those are just three things that I'm very excited about for 12.9. If you're interested in seeing the full scope, you can always check our issue board, filter by group access, and also the 12.9 milestone. You'll see there's actually 18 issues that we're working on, ranging across a host of really fascinating areas. So that's all for now. Thanks a lot for watching. Excited for 12.9. Here's to March 22nd. Cheers.